Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel.
We are witnessing the dawn of 3000 BC. The Nile, a ribbon of blue life cutting.
Here we see the timeless rhythm of the Nile. The shadoof, operated by a single laborer, lit. The Nile was not merely a river, but the lifeblood of civilization. Here we see the sturdy reed vessel.
The annual inundation of the Nile was meticulously recorded, ensuring the lifeblood of Egypt was measured for taxation.
The step pyramid, Djoser's eternal home, required a workforce of thousands. These men hauled.
Imhotep's vision was unprecedented.
Steady, men. Lower the block precisely there. Align it with the star.
This remarkable footage shows the Giza Plateau around 2500 BC. The Great Pyramid.
As the sun rose over the eastern desert, the vibrant colors of the Sphinx headdress shimmered, a testament to the pharaoh's power. For the builders of the Great Pyramid, life was a cycle of endless labor. Even water.
The path narrows as we approach the king's chamber itself, the final resting place of the pharaoh, bathed in the glow of our torches.
The magnificent temple of Amun-Ra at Karnak. Its towering pylons and fluttering standards. As pharaoh, Hatshepsut adopted the full regalia of office, including the traditional false beard and the double crown.
The expedition to Punt was a resounding success. The ships brought back exotic trees, vast amount.
Every detail, from the polished gold to the vibrant lapis lazuli, spoke of their profound obsession with the journey beyond.
This is the Valley of the Kings. Here, thousands of laborers dug deep into the bedrock.
This was Akhetaten, later known as Amarna, a city constructed rapidly in the searing heat of the desert, yet ultimately destined for ruin.
Though but a boy, Tutankhamun held the two lands in his grasp. His reign, though short, margins. This solemn ritual, the opening of the mouth, was critical. It was believed to reanimate the mummy.
As the sun began its descent, the funeral procession of the pharaoh embarked on its final journey across the Nile.
The colossal statues of Abu Simbel, where Ramses II sits eternally vigilant.
Though the pharaoh fought with unmatched ferocity at Kadesh, the true legacy of this day would be the world's first recorded peace treaty.
Within these walls, the House of Life, countless texts were meticulously copied, ensuring the preservation of vital knowledge.
Here we see the daily ritual, a simple loaf and a measure of ale offered to the household gods.
This was the true heart of Memphis, a melting pot where Nubian traders exchanged their gold and Greek mercenaries drank away their earnings.
The Bronze Age collapse marked a period of unprecedented chaos. The Sea Peoples, as they became known.
The arrival of the 25th dynasty marked a significant shift. These black pharaohs symbolized by. As the Persian legions marched beneath the shadow of the Great Pyramids, Egypt faced its first great foreign conquest.
The desert encroachment signaled the closing of the dynastic sequence, a once great civilization.
Along this stretch of the Mediterranean, Alexander began the foundation of Alexandria, meticulously outlining the street.
Towering over the harbor, the Pharaohs of Alexandria, the tallest structure in the ancient world.
At its height, the Great Library housed the sum of all human knowledge, drawing the finest minds from across the Hellenistic world. Welcome to the royal palace of the Ptolemies, a stunning fusion of Hellenistic grandeur and ancient.
Cleopatra, the last pharaoh of Egypt, understood that appearance was power.
And so, concealed within the tapestry, the serpent of the Nile revealed herself to Caesar.
A Roman coin featuring Mark Antony and Cleopatra, a union that challenged Rome.
The Roman galleys rammed the Egyptian ships with brutal force. And so, amidst the churning sea,
This marked the definitive end of 3,000 years of independence for Egypt.
The integration of Roman authority and Egyptian tradition is strikingly visible. Emperors are depicted not.
The great lighthouse of Pharaohs guides the way as the grain ships depart. For Rome depended entirely on Egypt, the breadbasket of the empire.
The ichthys, the sign of the fish, became a clandestine symbol of their growing, yet persecuted, new religion.
The fish symbol, known as the ichthys, became a secret sign of their burgeoning faith, painted even in these secluded caves.
These striking images, painted in heated wax, perfectly illustrate the blending of identities.
It was here, at the sacred complex of Philae, that the ancient script was last recorded. The destruction of the Serapeum marked a turning point. The ancient gods were falling, quite literally, signaling
The hand of this priest, the last to understand the sacred script, falters.
The Byzantines often repurposed the structures of their predecessors, grafting their faith onto the remnants of the old gods.
And so the desert silence returns. The pyramids stand alone as the cities of sand shift.
In 641 AD, the Rashidun army, led by Amr ibn al-As, swept across the sands of Egypt.
Under the scorching sun, the foundations of Fustat were laid. It was a humble start, but from these tents a new capital would rise.
This simple structure, built by hand from mud and palm, marks the dawn of Islamic architecture in Egypt. Trade continued uninterrupted, a testament to the amicable relations between the Coptic and Arab communities. The streets of Fustat were a maze of commerce and craft. Here, the smoke from the kilns was as constant as the hustle of the merchants.
The Nilometer on Rhoda Island stands as a testament to Egypt's enduring reliance on the great river.
With the caliphate expanding, a standardized currency was essential. The gold dinar, freshly struck, and
The great caravan begins its arduous journey across the sands, following the ancient path to Mecca.
wide aerial view of the minarets rising alongside the distant pyramids, a new skyline for a new age.
Here, in the 10th century, the foundations of Al-Azhar were laid. Not merely a mosque, but the genesis of a university. The Fatimid court spared no expense. The caliph, shaded by the royal parasol, scattered thousands of using tools passed down through generations. He slowly reveals the intricate arabesques that define this masterpiece of Islamic craftsmanship. This was the House of Wisdom, and it was here, under the night sky, that Al-Haytham questioned the very nature of the...
From these hills, the defender of the faith, Saladin, surveyed his domain and pointed to the future site of the great citadel.
Following the decisive victory at Hattin in 1187, Saladin's forces led the remaining Crusader captives through the city in a display of triumph.
Rising before us, the formidable citadel. These massive walls utilized limestone. And so we clothe the medieval sequence with the Mamluk skyline, truly the city of 1,000 minarets.
Here, at Ain Jalut, the Mongol horde was finally, decisively halted forever.
Constructed as an act of profound charity, the Sabal provided the populace with clean drinking water, while the Kutab above ensured.
As the Ottoman fleet dominated the waters, the elite Janissary with muskets, armed.
Here, overlooking the timeless Nile, the great empire's decline was not a collapse, but a
Here, amidst the swirling smoke and the clatter of the dice, time seems to lose all meaning. May 1798, the French fleet set sail. Its mission, to bring both conquest.
The collision was brutal. Time and again, the Mamluk cavalry hurled themselves against the immovable squares.
It was here, in the shadow of the Great Sphinx, that the French savants undertook their meticulous survey.
Buried within the crumbling walls of the fort, the weary Sergeant Boussard made a discovery that would change history. A dark slab bearing 3 distinct scripts.
Ambitious and ruthless, Muhammad Ali looked down upon Cairo, the the city that would serve as the foundation of his new empire.
The sight of the riderless horses thundering through the citadel was clear. Muhammad Ali had eradicated the Mamluk power structure in one fell swoop. This new professional army, forged in the crucible of modernization, brought both order and subjugation to the lands of the Sudan and Arabia.
Forged by the sweat and toil of thousands, the Mahmoudiya Canal was central to the modernization of Egyptian agriculture.
He looked upon the Iron Lady, a symbol of French ingenuity, and began to formulate the ideas that would shape his generation.
Ismail's vision was clear: transform Cairo into a new Paris, complete with wide boulevards and grand squares. Here lay the desert isthmus of Suez, vast sand dunes waiting to be cut.
By the 1860s, the dream of connecting the Mediterranean and the Red Sea was becoming a reality. But this monument...
And then the moment arrived. Her Majesty up to the leg, led the procession.
The loan documents were finalized, cementing the Khedive's precarious position. This was not investment. The year is 1882. For this young British soldier, the posting in Egypt was ostensibly temporary. While Cairo bustled just beyond the walls, within the Gezira Sporting Club, the British maintained a rigid... With trembling hands, Carter finally breached the seal.
I see wonderful things.
And then, as the mask emerged from the darkness, the world held its breath. A discovery...
Soon, it was most 99 complete independence.
We will not rest.
Cairo in the 30s was a city of stark contrasts. A vibrant, cosmopolitan capital that served the Western Desert, 1942. As the sun beat down, the armored divisions clashed near El Alamein. January 1952, the streets of Cairo erupted into chaos as years of simmering resentment boiled over into a day of fire and destruction.
The Tripartite aggression of 1956 saw British and French forces land in Port Said.
With the arrival of the massive Russian trucks, the diversion of the Nile began. It was a display of industrial might unparalleled in the desert.
The rising Nile threatened to engulf these ancient wonders. But through an unprecedented global effort, the rising waters of Lake Nasser presented an unprecedented challenge. But the UNESCO team, through remarkable international cooperation, rising 187 meters above Gezira Island, the Cairo Tower, completed in Alexandria, 1968. As the Soviet shipments arrived, the true scale of the Cold War's reach into the Middle East became brutally clear. Educated entirely for free, these thousands represented the hopes of a new Egypt. Yet, as the decade turned, the future remained deeply uncertain.
The United Arab Republic, a dream of unity that would be short-lived.
In May 1967, Egyptian tanks advanced deep into the Sinai Desert. The decision to close the Straits of Tiran.
As the sun dipped below the horizon, silence fell over the Sinai. Two massive armies.
The Bar-Lev Line, a colossal sand barrier along the Suez, was widely regarded as seemingly impenetrable.
The formidable Bar-Lev Line, thought impregnable, began to crumble under the relentless assault of high pressure.
This was Al-Ubur, the crossing. The Egyptian forces achieved what many thought impossible, bridging the Suez Canal under heavy fire.
By the 1990s, Egypt was rapidly becoming a premier holiday destination. The ancient wonders, once remote.
These waters, long revered, continue to support a dazzling array of marine biodiversity, a testament to their enduring vitality.
The opening of the Cairo Metro, the first in Africa, was met with unprecedented demand.
The satellite dish, once a luxury, became a conduit. Suddenly, the world was beaming direct.
Cairo in the 1970s was, quite simply, a city overwhelmed. The infrastructure struggled daily.
Here, amidst the glow of the CRTs, the seeds of digital dissent were sown, challenging the status quo one keystroke at a time.
The deployment, unprecedented in its scale, signaled a turning point in the long summer of 1981.
25th of January, 2011.
Etched into the history of modern Egypt.
The announcement arrived on February 11, 2011. A moment of history. Hosni Mubarak has stepped down.
For Ahmed, this simple act symbolized everything. The enduring hope for a truly new era in Egypt's long history.
With fuel supplies dwindling, the nation faced its gravest crisis in decades.
This was Tahrir Square, reimagined on an even grander scale. The sheer volume of protesters.
The massive dredgers worked ceaselessly, day and light. This was the new Suez Canal.
The SS Hope, carrying the weight of a nation's aspirations, embarks on its maiden voyage through this monumental new waterway.
The demolition marked the end of an era, but for these families, it was the dawn of a new one in the modern development of Asmarat.
This massive undertaking, rising from the desert sands near Cairo, marks the culmination of the revolution.
The iconic tower, Africa's tallest, stands as a testament to Egypt's ambitious future, completed in 2024.
The new parliament building stands as a testament to Egypt's rich history, seamlessly blending the grand.
After centuries, the colossal statue of Ramses II finally finds its permanent resting place within this magnificent atrium. Here, in the magnificent Grand Egyptian Museum, all 5,000 artifacts of Tutankhamun's burial hoard are displayed together for the very first time.
The new Siemens electric line bridges the vast expanse between the Red Sea and the Mediterranean.
Stretching across the vast Sahara, the Benban Solar Park is central to Egypt's ambition, transforming the...
Armed with these digital blueprints, the new generation is finally taking the reins of history, shaping the Cairo of tomorrow.
From this height, the Nile Delta unfolds like a tapestry. Below, the ancient lights of Cairo,
the enduring gift of the Nile, forever known as Egypt, the mother of the world.